What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing here, back with another video, and in today's video, guys, we're here with the must-invest festival characters that you want to be building if you have not built already. We're going to be going over 5 festival characters in today's video, guys, that I think are going to be a must-build for anyone that's playing Grand Cross. If you're a new or returning player, or even a long-term player that doesn't have these characters built, are going to benefit from building these characters that I'm going to mention. So if you guys do enjoy videos like this, man, definitely make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as we're on the road to that 50,000 subscribers. We recently hit that 47k, guys, and closing in on that 48,000, man. It's been a ton of a grinding, man, on the channel, guys, and I appreciate all the support, man. Now, with that out of the way, guys, let's hop in and let's discuss, you know, the top 5 festivals that I recommend you guys be building right now to actually improve your account and just be better overall, just for, you know, content in the game and, you know, just in terms of your strength. So starting with the number 1 character that I'm gonna recommend right now, guys, and that's gonna be Festival Lancelot. Guys, he's the brand new festival, you know, with November Festival. It's kind of a given, right? You know, we've been promoting this character with, like, all the other YouTubers, and I've been promoting this character since his release, and he's absolutely insane. He's the number 2 best PvP character in the game right now, arguably number 1 in some scenarios, and yeah, I mean, in PvE, he's a really, really good character in PvE. Across the board, this character is absolutely insane and a must invest, in my opinion. So you definitely want to be, you know, building this character, you know, making sure you have gear for him. Check out my, you know, gear video as well that I made, you know, recently. That's definitely going to be an important video too. And yeah, I mean, Lancelot's going to be a very, very strong character overall in your account. You know, if we just go over briefly his kit, guys, we don't have to, like, delve too deep into it. The attack related stats for every card that the enemy has, right, that's really strong. You gain piercing arrows whenever a applicable ally uses a single target skill. And then yeah, I mean, the piercing arrows are going to net you a bunch of pierce rate. You're going to remove all of them and then you know, do a ton of damage as well. You get the mark of insight that you can provide. You get some basic stats on fairies. You get some defense related on humans. It's gonna be really, really good, man. You get a bunch of damage on this AoE. Definitely one of the strongest AoE skills in the entire game, you know, with the penetration AoE right there. And then yeah, I mean, his single target is very, very good, and his ultimate is just absolutely absurd. You know, you're getting 50% attack related stats even at the 106 dupe level. You know, the 3 piercing arrows. You do gain all this stuff right here, but it'll be at 60% at 1 to 6, and then no damage reduction, but you will get that at the 3 to 6 or higher, which is, you know, definitely beneficial. And yeah, I mean, the whole part of his kit, guys, like, he is, in my opinion, one of the must invest characters too. And considering as well, he is the first character to have a talent skill where in PvP he's actually able to reveal the enemy's skills so that you see exactly what your enemy's about to do against you. I mean, that's definitely important to have, guys. So yeah, man, I mean, Lancelot's gonna be in my number 1. He's the latest festival character available right now, and yeah, I mean, you know, he is a very, very strong character, guys. Highly recommend investing in this character. If you guys want to know his best gear and all that, make sure to check out the videos I've done on the channel already. And with that out of the way, guys, let's move on now to the number 2 must invest in terms of the festival characters we have in the game. Alrighty, guys, now moving on to the number 2 character here, guys. Now this is going to be a tie between 2 versions of this character, actually, and we're actually going to go with Escanor. So Escanor here, specifically with the Light Escanor, the Light Ultimate Escanor, and the UR Ultimate Escanor. These 2 are going to be must-invest festival Escanors, in my opinion, because both of them are doing really good stuff for what they're trying to do. Now, if you're more of a free-to-play, you know, player and you don't have UR Escanor, let's say, this Ultimate Escanor is going to be given out for free in the second half of the celebration. So he's very accessible for a lot of you guys, and a very good character too. A lot of people sleep on this character, but he's still very strong to this day. Escanor is able to do additional damage equal to 30% of the final damage to all enemies on this single target skill, and it's AoE. So obviously this initial hit is single target, but the additional damage is to all enemies in the battle, which is absolutely absurd, guys. Like, that's insane. You know, a character like this, he's about 2 years old now, and this Escanor is still able to dish out a ton of damage in PvE. You can run him alongside like Blue Roxy, and you can do the you know, the initial damage past the damage cap, right? You can do all of that, and that's obviously very strong too. So yeah, I mean, just an absurd character, man. His AoE is still strong to this day. You know, you got the overpower, and then the higher the dupe level on this character, the better, because that means you do gain some revive stacks, which are going to be very beneficial too. And yeah, I mean, overall, guys, this is a very good Escanor to be building if you're free to play. You can use him in a lot of PvE content, and PvP is going to probably help you in maybe the lower levels, not necessarily in the higher tiers of PvP, but he's still very strong at that. So yeah, Ultimate Escanor, you know, very good. And then Eternal Sun Escanor, this is going to be a given, guys. I mean, he is the new upgrade to Ultimate Escanor, and he's just so much better. You know, you get a ton of extra damage on this single target, right? You know, it is single target specifically, right? But it's additional damage equal to 50% of final damage. That's strong, right? And that's going to be obviously a very hard-hitting skill. You know, same type of deal with his AoE. You know, it's going to be very strong too. His ultimate is very good too, because you actually incinerate the health bars of the enemy. Same with the AoE skill here too. He does also have a grace effect as well, guys, where you can run him as a link on other characters, which is valuable in my opinion. You know, increasing the max HP and critical defense of the character that has the link for this is really good for some characters. You know, like just as an example here, you know, Chaos Arthur, Gelda, like these are some characters that would love HP and critical defense that could definitely benefit from running this link. So yeah, very strong. And then yeah, I mean, again, guys, in his passive Burning Sun, you get additional damage equal to 40% of the target's increased max HP. Anyone that's increasing their max HP in PvP, you're gonna destroy them. And this Escanor is more tailored towards PvP right now in the game, guys. You can definitely still use him in PvE, but I think it's kind of like a very similar situation between this Escanor and the UR Escanor in PvE, that I think they're very similar. But I do think that obviously UR Escanor is gonna be a lot stronger in the PvP side of the game, 100%. So yeah, guys, that is my number 2 right there, a tie between both the Escanors, but it makes sense because one of them is more of a free-to-play friendly version, the other one's more, you know, PvP, but also can work in PvE as well, and the more kind of, you know, pay-to-play version, I guess, or, you know, if you have them, you have them, right? So alright, guys, let's move on to the number 3 must-invest character that is a festival that I recommend for you guys. Alright, guys, now moving on to the number 3 must-invest festival, in my opinion, guys, is going to be Mael. Now, Mael is a character that is going to be really strong in the game for someone that's more tailored towards the PvE side of the game. If you're someone that's trying to clear pretty much all hard PvE content in the game, guys, I mean, this is going to be the character for you, because he's going to be pretty much covering all PvE content, including some of the harder fights in the game, like Nidhogg, and even just some really hard difficulty fights. He is very, very good for all of that. Now, the reason why Mael is so insane is because he has a grace as well, which is just straight up 20% damage dealt. I mean, that's something you want to be investing in. I mean, you know, being able to run this character as a link on anyone and giving them free 20% damage dealt, that is insane. And then, you know, on top of that, this character has, in his passive year, he gains a bunch of all stats from having goddess allies on the team, right? You're going to be running Mael along a full goddess team. And if all the allies are in the battlefield are goddesses, you apply Brilliance of the Sun on allies at the start of the battle, which is going to actually reduce their damage reduction and give them damage reduction, right? And then you are immune to stat decrease in PvP. That's really good. You know, so being immune to stat decrease in PvP, I think is valuable. Goddess team right now isn't absolutely, like, insane or anything like that in PvP, but again, like, for PvE content, 20% damage reduction for the entire fight, and you have the all stat build up because you're running a full goddess team with the damage dealt. That is really, really insane, guys. I mean, that's hard to pass up. And then the main thing that Mael got kind of recently is this Holy Relic, where he's doing a lot with this. He gets, you know, damage dealt on single target attacks from goddess allies, and then also attack related stats on AoE skills. So on the AoE skills, Mael's gonna start ramping up his damage, and he's gonna start hitting like such absurd numbers of damage, guys, that you're gonna be shocked at the amount of damage he does in content you're doing. And yeah, he's really, really good, man. So go into a single target skill here. Very strong single target. You know, Brilliance of the Sun, which is going to always be on allies, is just straight up damage dealt. And you get up to 120%, because you get 4 allies on your team, right? If you're in like a demonic beast, right? And yeah, really strong. And then obviously the AoE, spike AoE, damage dealt lower on the enemy, guys. I mean, this character is absurd. This ultimate right here, one of the strongest, just straight up nuke ultimates in the game, just raw damage ultimates. One of the strongest in the game. You know, remove stats from all enemies, apply 3 additional sunspots, inflict sunspot explosion damage equal to 750% of attack, damage dealt plus 50% for every sunspot applied to the target. That's at the 6 out of 6 dupe level. Just absolutely absurd, guys. And yeah, I mean, again, Goddess is a strong team for PvE. If you're talking, you know, guild boss, Goddess is going to be really good. We're talking all the demonic beasts up to Nidhogg. Goddess is going to clear through all that. Heroes Arena, Goddess is a very strong team too. I've done, you know, in my videos here, I've showed off Goddess team too. You know, yeah, guys, I mean, like, Mael is one of the highest invest characters in my opinion, especially as a festival. He is very, very good. And yeah, to this day, a really, really good PvE character, man. So let's move on now to the number 4 on the list. Alrighty guys, now moving on to the number 4 festival here, I'm going to go with the Tyrant Demon King. Now, Tyrant Demon King, in my opinion, is still a really good character in both PvP and PvE. You can still actually use him in PvP on a demon team and still do well. You know, there are some scenarios where he is actually still very good, but the main value I think you're going to get out of this character is PvE content because he's going to be dealing so much damage, guys. This character is absolutely absurd. He gets rank up in his kit, he gets all stats, he gets damage reduction, he seals commandments. He's doing so much, man, especially if you have demon allies too. Even if you don't have demon allies though, you're still getting all stats for yourself, right? You're still once removed for the ruler's reign, once removed, all debuffs are removed from the hero, and then the hero's all stats are increased by 20% and skills are ranked up. Like, no, regardless of the team you're running on, like, you can run them on any team and you will still get that rank up. Like, that's strong, right? That's absurd. So yeah, and then all of this is gonna be really good, man. Attack related stats if you have demon allies on the team, right? For each retrocession. So yeah, I mean, guys, like, insane. And then his single target, 60% attack when using the skill times 2 critical chance. I mean, it's a very hard hitting skill. And then infect with also the fact that you're lowering critical resistance and critical defense as a debuff. So you apply that debuff and you're lowering that critical resistance, critical defense, which is very good in my opinion. And then his ultimate here, one of the strongest ultimates in the game, decreases enemies defense related stats by a certain amount. I'm at 5 to 6, so 40%. And then inflicts damage equal to 700% of attack. Level 3 blackout effect. Disables all skills except ultimate moves, guys. Like, that's absurd. Like, how do you beat that, right? You seal everything except ultimate moves? Like, that's just absurd. So yeah, I mean, this character, like, across the board, PvE content is really good. All demonic beasts up to Nidhogg, I think he clears. Demon King content, you can't run him in the Demon King because, he's Demon King himself. But, yeah, I mean, like, Nidhogg is very strong. As you can see with the outfit, he's really good on all the other demonic beasts. Heroes Arena is still viable on a demon team, too. It's still really good. So, yeah, man, I definitely recommend building this character, guys. It's still valuable in some PvP teams on, kind of a demon setup. So, yeah, Tyrant Demon King, another one of my must-invest characters right there. Let's move on now to the number 5 character, guys, and we'll talk about the last one here for the must-invest festivals. Alrighty, guys, now moving on to the number 5 slot here, guys, I'm gonna say DK Meliodas. Now, the reason why I didn't say DK Meliodas higher on this list is because at the end of the year, we're getting a new Meliodas that's gonna replace this character, but I still see the value in building him now, and you're still gonna be able to clear content with him now at this point in the game, so I don't see why he cannot be on this list. Like, obviously, we're getting a new replacement for him, so it might not be the best idea to build him now because, in a month from now, we're gonna have a better Meliodas, but he's still one of the best characters in the game, and I cannot disregard that, guys. He is absolutely absurd. So DK Melly, if you do want to build him, is really good across the board. Across the board, all content in the game, PvP, PvE, he clears everything, man. He's insane. It's just the fact that he's gonna get replaced, which is like, okay, maybe you wouldn't want to build him at that point. That's kind of where I'm at right now with DK Melly. Like, he's still an insane character, but you might not want to build the character because of the fact we're getting a brand new one. But again, guys, just to briefly go over his kit, he's doing a lot. He applies seeds at the end on the enemies. He gains all creation whenever he gets max of 4 stacks of dark energy, which he's going to get from either attacking, a max stack seed at the end, or if he's actually cleansing debuffs. And, he's going to be able to get the attack related stats. Every seed at the end is going to lower enemies defense related stats. He's also going to gain defense related stats with the dark energy too, right? Yeah, I mean, his ultimate's a nuke, straight up insane damage. You can run commandments on him as links, which is strong. You get that damage reduction, single target damage reduction decrease. He has a very strong AoE skill with Doom, times 2 critical chance, plus 20% damage dealt for every seed at the end on enemies. And yeah, I mean, a really strong single target too, which when you have all creation, it does an absurd amount of damage, guys. So yeah, I mean, again, the reason why I have DK Meliodas at number 5 is because he's still a really insane character, probably better than a lot of the characters that I listed off in this festival, kind of must invest. But again, guys, I can't recommend this character as much as those other characters because they're all, like, not really getting power crept in the sense of, like, we're not getting a new variant of those characters for a while, whereas DK Melly is literally getting replaced in, like, a month from now. So that's kind of why, I made it in that setup where I didn't have DK Meliodas higher on the list. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below of the list. Do you guys feel anywhere different about this? And would you say DK Melly is still higher anyway, just because he's that good? You guys let me know in the comments below, man. But yeah, that's going to be it for the Must Invest Festivals. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and we'll see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. Have a good rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.